Good morning, Packers fans. Aaron Nagler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels. It's Tuesday. More importantly, it's franchise tag deadline day. 4 p.m. Eastern this afternoon is the drop dead moment when the Packers must slap the franchise tag on Davante Adams or continue to talk long-term contract extension and fear his hitting the open market. And to answer a question I've already seen here on the chat. Someone asked, why won't they get a comp pick if he plays out his contract? Well, they would if he hits free agency and signs with another team for presumably a monster deal. They would most likely get a third round compensatory pick. But that is way below what you want to get in return for Davante Adams. And also, there's no freaking way the Packers will allow that to happen. So they will most likely put the franchise tag on him late this afternoon. Now, is there an outside possibility that they don't put the tag on him and they continue negotiating with the belief that they will get something done? There's an outside, a very limited chance that that happens, yes. But I think it's almost a formality at this point that they will apply the franchise tag later this afternoon and then continue to try and get a deal done, a long-term deal done in these coming weeks, most likely uh, before March 16th, which is when the Packers have to be under the salary cap. Um, while Davante's cap number, which is just north of $20 million, will be immediately applied to the Packers cap, it doesn't really matter until the 16th when they have to be cap compliant. So a lot of balls in the air. And I think I saw some confusion yesterday on Twitter about that $20 million, 20 something million dollar cap hit because the NFL put out the tag numbers and the amounts for each position, and at wide receiver it's 18 million something and change. But you have to remember in the CBA, it is an either or proposition. It is either that number or the average of the top five salaries at that position across the league, and that's where Davante falls, which is like 120% of it or something like that. So um, Davante will be once he gets that tag will be at a $20 million cap hit, just north of 20 million. I can't remember the exact number, but um, so yeah, that's coming this afternoon. And then along with that, who knows? Maybe we hear from Aaron Rodgers. I doubt it, but maybe. You never know. We'll see. That's always looming like a specter, like Batman in the shadows. And Aaron Rodgers' decision. Big B is here. What's up, Big B? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Good morning. Hope you're all doing well. What else we got? We got Marshall with a super chat. Thanks, buddy. Do you think we get a Rodgers decision before or after the 4 p.m. Eastern tag deadline for Davante? I think there's a possibility we get it before, but I think that's an outside possibility. But it wouldn't surprise me if, say, we got something later this afternoon. Today is a real kind of circle the calendar type day. If we don't get it today, then you got to suspect we'll probably be waiting for probably another week. But we're all at his whim, aren't we? What else we got? We got Landon. Thanks for the super chat. Next, kind of a deep question. Ooh, kind of a deep question. As a member of the media, how do you handle criticism? Athletes in all sports get criticism, but I'm curious how a media member takes and handles criticism. That's an interesting question. I mean, you get it all the time, right? Some of it cuts deeper than others. Some of it is a cause for reflection and a wow, is that really the kind of thing I'm putting out there that makes someone come at me like that? Some of it is like you can recognize they're just a troll or an idiot and you don't really have to bother with it. But if it's in good faith, I definitely take it on board. And it is interesting how just human nature feeds into this. And I've talked to the guys in the locker room about this. I mean, because they get it 10 times worse than I do. But this idea that you can get, and I do get a ton of positive reinforcement, like whether it's you guys in the chat, emails, messages in our Patreon page, tweets, what have you, uh, messages on Instagram. I get all sorts of compliments and people saying, really love what you do. Thank you so much for what you do. All of that is taken on board and it really means a lot. It really does. But all it takes is that one person on a random afternoon, getting personal, saying something horrible about my family or something like that, and that shit sticks with you amidst the entirety of the positive stuff that you get. That one negative comment it really kind of just burrows in and sticks with you. And it's weird how that works. But if it's like genuine criticism of like a take, right? The Rodgers stuff is a perfect example because a lot of people get emotional about that and they get really kind of over the top critical. I understand that that's fair game, right? Like me saying that it's time for the Packers to trade Aaron Rodgers, people get very upset about it. And if they come correct, if they come with like, well, this is why I think you're wrong, and blah blah blah, I'll 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 entertain that, right? But if it's someone saying like you're a fucking idiot and your takes are trash or whatever, like that's infantile and I have no time for it and it does nothing to me, right? So, and then there's always like where are you in that day? Like some days you could be flying high and you can get a little criticism and be like, I don't care, like whatever, and then there's days where you're really low and someone hits you and it's like, oh man, now it's even worse. So, yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. A lot that goes into it. And I think and this is obviously just my experience. I know everyone that you would talk to in the media would probably answer this question differently. But that's how I come at it. Ed, thanks for the super chat. I got nothing. Hey, buddy, let me tell you, this is probably the most honest, like crystallized, quintessential comment ever posted on the internet. So, Ed, kudos, man. I'm right there with you. Ron, thank you for the super chat. I hope Aaron Rodgers is traded, Davante Adams is tagged and traded, and we can focus on drama-free football. Dogs make life happy. No, wait, whoa, wait, well, hold up. I got to push back here a little bit. Why is Davante part of the drama? I'm confused. He wants to be paid. Like, that's point blank simple. That's no drama. With Aaron Rodgers, I understand there's a lot going on there, right? But with Davante, it's pretty simple. Man wants to get paid. It's pretty drama free. In fact, that's pretty direct. So, but I hear you about the dogs. Rock and roll, man. T-Raz, I'm in Denver, and the media has been talking about Rodgers nonstop for the last 2 years. I hope it stops soon. Hey, man, it probably didn't help when they hired Hackett. I'm sure that put it into overdrive. I had to really hunt to find you, Nags. Indiana here. What's up, Carrie? Hope you're doing well. TKM, thanks for the super chat. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. Nags, going completely 180 degrees. Aaron Rodgers goes to another team. You remain dog free, and we get to free up money and move on to QB Jordan Love, Pappies. That is a possibility. You can't act like it's not. It's not one that Olive wants to entertain, but TKM, that is not impossible, no doubt. Oh, that was it. Thank you, Michael, for the clarification. Yes. It's not the top 5 is not in play. It's the 120%. I got that right. The player's 2021 salary. That's what it was. Thanks for the clarification, Michael. And that is indeed what Adams will be getting if and when they apply the tag. John, thanks for the super chat. Thoughts on Ridley? Is his suspension fair compared to what Ray Rice, Zeke, etc. did? Feels heavy, but integrity of the games are at stake. Go Pack, go. Man, it's an easy and an involved question, right? Like anyone with a brain knows that comparatively to the acts of a Ray Rice, what Zeke did, Hunt, etc. No, by any stretch of the imagination, are those comparable and or fair when you look at the two, right? This, Ridley had what parlays on an app, However, league is clearly setting an example here, and I don't think it would have been as severe if he hadn't been betting on his own team. And I know he bet him to win, but just any kind of approach of the gambling aspect with not only the NFL and the league that you play in, but the team that you are on. And I know he's been away from the game, but there's no way the NFL could let that slide. They were always going to make an example out of anyone who did this. And it's not a surprise it happened, right? And I know I've seen all the jokes and whatever, like, they've been leaning so heavily into the betting side of things now that it's legalized and they put a team in Vegas, etc. So yeah, it was probably only a matter of time until something like this happened. I actually am kind of surprised it took as long as it did. But, Paul Hornung came back from it. The idea of he's banished now for a year essentially and has to work his way back into the NFL's good graces. And Hornung did it. in a very different environment, obviously, but the kid made a mistake. There's no doubt about it. The NFL had to drop the hammer, so to speak. Now you draw back and you look at the rest of those punishments and what's been merited out as far as suspensions for what I would consider far greater crimes. No, it doesn't add up and it's not fair. But the NFL lives in its own bubble. I always say this. I always say this to people who are comparing like their job to the NFL. At my work, we could never. Well, yeah, but you don't have a collectively bargained $24 billion industry. They live in a separate universe. And as long as we all watch, which we all do, they're going to continue to operate the way they see fit. And it's the worst. I mean, it's the whole reason they were able to get through a pandemic. Well, the government and the populace was scrambling for testing and trying to figure out how we were going to afford it. The NFL just bought like $70 million worth of testing and got through the season. And then what was the old, everyone would say, well, teachers need to get the test too and blah, blah, blah. And there's no one helping Mr. Smith's, geometry class. And well, Fox and NBC and, Amazon streaming aren't showing Mr. Smith teaching geometry to a nationwide audience with sponsorships, etc. While the NFL is every single Sunday and we all tune in. So as much as it is fucking ridiculous when you compare those suspensions, we're complicit and we will obviously, point it out and we will let the NFL know that it's unfair and we think it's ludicrous and absurd and whatever. But they all know, all those owners, everyone at 345 Park know, we'll keep watching. We'll keep consuming combine content. We'll keep watching the draft, So it's unfortunate. No question about it. What else we got? We got Accidental Hero. What's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. Nags, I appreciate what you do. I root for my team because it's fun. You make it funner. Are we using funner here? Accidental? I miss our dog, but didn't get another one. New York Dog Walker Fund. Thanks, buddy. Really appreciate it. Robin, hope Ridley comes back. Talented kid. I think he will. I think, like I said, he made a mistake. He'll do what needs to be done to get back on the football field, I would suspect. Jeff, thank you for the super chat. Worry doesn't take always tomorrow's problems. It only takes away today's peace. Buddha. Well, we'll be in regards to 12 and 17. Jeff has reached the acceptance stage. I feel you, Jeff. Kathleen, thank you for the super sticker. Very much appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you. Greg, thank you for the super chat. I think the new dog's AKC registered name should be Sir Aaron Rodgers Cap Hit. I'm hoping Olive opts for a Great Dane. Love your work, Nags. Keep it up. Thank you, Craig. Very much appreciated. Let's get something clear. The whole reason I got in trouble in this whole in the first place here is because I opened my big mouth on camera. Let me put this on camera so it's recorded for posterity. She did not get to pick the dog, nor does she get to pick the name. I will be doing both of those things since I'm the one who's going to live with it, walk it, take care of it, and what have you. So just so we're clear. Just so that's out there. Oh, man. If Rodgers goes to Denver, we need Drew Lock as part of the deal. Good competition in the QB room, and everyone can talk about the Packers being a love lock team. Oh, Jeff, well played. Well played. Well, Brian loved Lock coming out of college. They were going to draft him in the second round until the Broncos jumped in front of him. True story. Big dog, big shovel. William, Rodgers to the 49ers for Bosa and Ayuk. Williams started early today. As Ted Thompson said, this isn't fantasy football. Get a lazy dog, bro. Anything else blows. I love it. You guys are hilarious. What else we got here? I'm available for dog walking. New York Cheesehead. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks, bud. This is probably a stupid question. Can a player decline to be drafted by a team? AZ, not a stupid question at all. Not really. Kind of. You can withhold your services, no question about it. It's very rare that a player would want to do that. We've seen one or two examples of that throughout the history of the NFL, notably talented quarterbacks who could kind of drive their destination a little bit. It happened with Eli Manning. It happened with John Elway. But for the most part, if you refuse, like say you're drafted and you refuse, you better go do something else. Like some guys have like, can play baseball or whatever, and they go do that, or they have some kind of fallback option. But if you want to play football and you get drafted, you got to go to that team, essentially. It takes a great deal of, I guess, star power, for lack of a better term, to even begin to have that conversation. And essentially, that's why Eli was able to kind of drive the bargain he did, and John Elway was able to make sure the Colts didn't draft him, and blah blah blah. I mean, it's a very rare thing, though. But there are other options. You could go play in Canada. You could play Arena League. But if you want to play in the NFL, you got to go where you're drafted, essentially. I long for the day where this team has a quarterback who doesn't put himself above the team. That's an interesting question or point there, William. You got to remember, though, I mean, these guys come in, if you're talking, you're saying this team, meaning Green Bay, a quarterback who doesn't put himself above the team. Well, the Packers are not blameless in this regard. When you cultivate a team and a franchise and a roster, etc., throughout a decade plus, that is completely built around your quarterback, and you continually, defer to the quarterback in that regard. Yeah, I mean, it's not a surprise that they might pick up an attitude of, putting themselves and making themselves the most important person at all times. I don't think that's a surprise. I get it, man. I get what you're saying, but Green Bay has some culpability here. That's why last summer was such a surprise, in the sense of, or actually not the last summer, but the last year or so has been such a surprise in the sense of Brian and the personnel group, maybe not completely acquiescing to Rodgers' wishes, but somewhat pretty noticeably changing their MO, whether it's trading for Randall Cobb, a move that Brian specifically was asked, would you have done this if Aaron hadn't demanded it? He said no. Or this kicking all this money out, pushing all the money out, and operating in such a cap restrictive environment. These are things that, traditionally over the last couple decades, the Packers haven't done a lot of, but they are doing so now to try and keep things together for Aaron Rodgers. That's the choice the Packers are making. So of course that feeds into a quarterback being like, well, you're damn right, I'm the most important motherfucker in here. And don't get it twisted. I mean, we all know the importance of the position. And if you have a great quarterback, it changes the entire equation. Aaron Rodgers has kept people employed for years. So yeah, I can't say it's a big surprise. I got people texting me. What are you texting me? Hold on, folks. You never know. On a day like this, when news could break at any moment, I want to make sure we got. Okay, very good. Okay, we're good. Awesome. How many players and coaches play fantasy? It's usually, if not always, for money. So you guys gotta type some English here, man. How many players and coaches play fantasy? Yeah, I think probably a fair amount. I mean, it's not like you indicate. It's not usually for money, but some guy. I mean, you talk to the guys in the locker room; they talk about their fantasy teams. I've heard that before. NFL Films has guys uh, on camera post game, like I got you on fantasy or whatever. So but they're definitely playing, no question about it. Got all that, got that. Whoa. Soder, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. More contract talk. Any word on extending Matt LaFleur? Not yet. That's a good question, though. Have to think that that conversation is upcoming. There's little doubt that Aaron Rodgers is the focus, and then starting construction of the roster, and then I think you'll start to hear rumblings, most likely. Got that. Oh, Big Cheese, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. More likely to happen, Adam signing an extension or drafting a wide receiver in the first round. Happy Tagline Tuesday. Oh, Big Cheese, this isn't even close. It's more likely to happen is an extension for Adams. No doubt. No question. What else we got here? Gary, English plus punctuation equals understandable. Indeed. And I appreciate it. All right, everybody. I'm going to have to get going. I can't thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Please do me a huge favor. Hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day. Go Pack Go.